Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. Welcome to our midweek episode. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Raiders, where they're at right now, and where they could maybe possibly be in the next 6 weeks. Right now, at this moment of the time, Nick, it looks like there's no light at the end of the tunnel for the Raiders. How are you feeling?
Yeah, just disappointed. This was a disappointing quarter of the season. We could be 3-1. We could be 0-4. A good game against the Broncos, a really good second half against the Broncos, and we thought, hey, this is our team this year, we said it on that post game and everything that it was the first time a Raiders team got the ball back with like 6 minutes left of the game and didn't give it back. We thought it was something we've never seen it in our lifetime, so we thought it was something different. As of right now, it's the same old Raiders. 2 questionable losses back to back these past 2 games. Questionable decisions. What are we doing? Had a chance in both of them. But I think good news for Raider Nation, for all of us, is that we still have 75% left of the season, Art.
Yep. And, we've gone on here, we talked about the coaching a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, we talked about it every week, every episode for the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think this episode, we're done talking about that. Mm-hmm. The coaching is struggling right now.
Yeah.
The coaching's tough right now. We both are in the direction, leading in the direction of maybe Josh McDaniels should be out. Mm-hmm. A lot of Raider Nation's leaning in that direction.
A lot of them, yes.
A lot of Raider Nation's leaning in that direction. And it's not to say anyone's right or wrong, whether people like them or not. But, it's the coaching struggling right now.
Yeah.
But the players we have, there's some players on this team that can really carry the Raiders. Mm-hmm. That's Max Crosby. That's Josh Jacobs. Mm-hmm. That's Davante Adams. Those 3 guys in that Charger game showed signs of being able to carry a football team and being able to carry a football team to wins.
Yeah.
Right? Against a tough Charger team that's pretty solid. These next 6 games, we play teams that are not as good as the Chargers. And if those guys can go out and perform, we always have a chance to win football games.
Yeah, if they go out and put up the numbers like we know that they could. I think Davante is a walking touchdown and, 80 to 100 yards a game. Max Crosby's a walking, sack machine. He'll get after the quarterback anytime. There's always either a pressure or a hurry or a QB hit. He's never just going to put blanks on the board. And Josh Jacobs, I mean, do you want him to put up yards on the ground or in the air with catching out of the backfield? And not to mention his blocking. There's a couple blocks that you were just like, wow, you really did that to protect your quarterback? You're really going to do that? I mean, it's been like that all season. Even though he isn't getting the yards he's accustomed to rushing, he's making up for it in a whole bunch of ways, and he's ready to put this team on his back.
Yeah, so just the way they played last game, the way Josh Jacobs, Davante, Max Crosby, those 3 guys alone. There's a lot of guys on this football team that some are playing good, some are playing bad.
Yeah.
But these 3 guys, they're just Raiders. Raiders for lifers type of guys. Mm-hmm. Davante Adams, who's gone out and said that he's sticking with this football team. He wants to stick with this football team until he retires.
Yeah.
We have Josh Jacobs, who even through contract negotiations, you see him talking about the Raiders, and he loves the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And you have Max Crosby. Man. He's just a Raider. He's just a Raider.
He's a Raider.
Look at his face. Look in his eyes. He's a Raider. Has the Raider tattoo. 3 guys that are Raiders. 3 guys that have their look in their eye against the Chargers. Something that Raider fans should be excited about. Because they had that look in their eye like, we're not losing this game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that's the reason why they got the C on their jerseys. I mean, they're leaders. They speak out. And it's just when they speak and we lose, you see how frustrated they are. They're Josh Jacobs is cussing. Davante looks pissed. Max looks pissed. Max tweets out, "Hey, I'm sorry, Raider Nation. We love you guys. We're trying to perform better." Like you just said, Art, these 3 are Raiders. Davante has pictures of him in Raider jerseys when he was little. Max got it tatted on him. I think even Jacobs has got it tatted on him. I think that whole group coming in got him tatted. So these are Raiders. You know, Max is a Raider for life. Jacobs didn't want to go nowhere. Devontae, everybody but Devontae thinks Devontae wants to leave.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you know, Carr's leaving, he's probably going to leave. Or he doesn't want to play with Garoppolo. Or, oh, now O'Connell comes in, he's not going to get his yards. No, you know, he played good no matter who was quarterback in. You know, and, you know, these three are Raiders, and, yeah, they're going to be put on their back going forward.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. These three guys, we think that these three guys can carry us to victories and can create a domino effect. Not only within the players on the team, but within the whole organization, within the whole fan base.
Mm-hmm.
These three guys can create a domino effect. Something that almost happened against the Chargers.
Yeah.
But obviously some bad coaching decisions
Mm-hmm.
and some other problems that went wrong. You know, had a rookie quarterback in his debut. But man, these three guys can do something special. They really can. And looking up ahead of these games, you got the Packers, very doable. Patriots doable. Bears doable. Detroit doable. Giants doable. Jets doable. That's 6 games in a row that are doable, where we have these three guys that can carry a team, can carry a unit, and can create that domino effect of, you know, the guys that are struggling right now, the other players on the team, you can get them more amped up, more pumped up just by the way they're playing.
Yeah.
The energy, the focus they're playing with. And that not only helps them, but that helps a struggling coaching. Those three guys can help the struggling coaching we have in McDaniels and Patrick Graham.
Yeah.
And it can help them focus a little more. It can help McDaniels stay up at night just a little longer and be more creative in the playbook. It can help Graham study offenses more at night. Just the way these guys' mentality is, it can change this whole team. And usually this is something that a coach does. Changes a whole mentality of a team and stuff. But these three players for the Raiders, they're just the all-out Raiders on this squad. They can be the ones that can change it up and change the direction of this organization, and it can happen in these 6 games, which is exciting.
You are absolutely right. It can cause a domino effect, and not with just these three players. You know, you look and there's talent all around this roster. You know, you get Renfro growing. You know, Myers has played really good on the defensive end. Merrick is getting there. You know, Peters is kind of getting there. You know, and then you know you look at our special teams, and you know Carlson can kick it from anywhere. And that's a 3. You know, Cole can put it anywhere he wants, you know, in their field position. You know, this can be a real good domino effect. And, you know, and you look at the schedule and it's loosened up now. Everybody is struggling. And then you look and you're like, oh, well, you know, some East Coast teams, they're at home. I mean, you know, we look in Green Bay at home, New England at home, Chicago over there, but struggling a lot. But that's winnable. The only one that you kind of is iffy is Detroit. But then it's just, okay, that's Monday night, primetime game. You're going to be pumped up. You're going to be ready to go. Then you got the 2 New York teams, and, you know, we're not taking that trip to New York. None of these 53 men want to take that trip to New York. That New York trip sucks. You know, and we don't play over there. We don't play on that East Coast time. You know, we play in Vegas, and, you know, now it's time to go.
Yeah. Look, I know it's looking bad right now, 1-3, but we gotta look at the positives. And we think that these 3 guys, plus there's some other players on this team, but these 3 guys specifically with the silver and black in their veins are guys that can really help this organization. And just the way they played in that Charger game really pumps me up and excites me for these upcoming games. And a lot of doable games, like we said. And if the Raiders can come out of these games 5-5, 6-4, heading into that Dolphin game, man, it could be a real exciting time, and it could be a real quick switch up for the Raiders. So we're just here to tell Raider Nation, stick with this team. Stick with them.
Yeah.
You never know. Anything can happen.
You never know. And you know what? These past, you know, couple years, you know, we've done this before. We've sat there while our schedule loosens up, you know, or this and that. You know, honestly, we just got to play well. And it starts this week against Green Bay. We just got to play well. Years past, we didn't. Even though schedules lightened up, or, you know, we faced so-and-so, or, you know, we had Baker Mayfield with only a day of practice, you know, going into that Thursday night. We never took advantage of those opportunities. We got to take advantage of those opportunities. You know, I think everybody looks at us as, hey, you know, it's Raider week. It's just a tune-up week. We'll get our offense going, or we'll get our defense going. We play the Raiders. We'll get something going. Or now it's time for us to look at these teams and do the same exact thing. You know, you look at Chicago struggling 0-4. We should go in and take care of business, no matter what. Even though we make the trip, we should go and take care of the business. You know, New England, they can't score. Their defending is a little off. We got to go take care of business. You know, Green Bay struggling a little bit. We got to go take care of business. We got to go take care of business now if we want to be playing meaningful football come December.
So the good thing about this situation we're in is that everybody needs to suit up to go to war.
Yeah.
The coaching staff, we talked about it earlier. The coaching staff, their jobs are on the line.
Yeah.
Every game, every quarter, every snap, the jobs are on the line. And you told me that during the season, probably not. They're not going to get fired during the season, but at the end of the season, the jobs are on the line.
Yes.
Players, this could all deconstruct. This can all explode on the Raiders. This whole organization, this whole thing can explode on Mark Davis.
Yeah.
And I feel like Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, I feel like these guys are not going to let it happen.
Yeah.
And it's at the point where you got to do something. You have to do something. So I feel like, why not? I want to go to war with Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, and Max Crosby any day of the week, and I feel like we're going to come out of it alive.
And I think because they came in together, they've been there the longest 4 or 5 years, and this has a lot riding on Josh Jacobs on the offensive side of the ball, Max Crosby on the defensive side of the ball. You know, they went to the playoffs one time. They got a taste of it. You know, now they want to be in there regularly. Max Crosby's a beast. He's always going to get after the quarterback. Like I said, he never puts up blanks. He's always doing something. And even when he puts up 0 sacks, you know, you look at just the pressures the quarterback hits. And then you look at how many double teams and triple teams he has. You know, Josh Jacobs is trying to do whatever he can, you know, and like I said, rushing yards isn't quite there right now, but what he's doing, catching out of the backfield and even blocking, is incredible.
Yeah, although this season 1-3, I'm just excited about some things. I'm just excited about it because that's all we can do is be excited.
Yeah.
Because if we lose the Packers, it's like could be the end of something that never even started.
Yeah.
You know, like it could just be bad. It can be a team of guys we don't even know next year with Max Crosby.
Yeah.
You know, so
exactly.
It's it all rides on this season. It all rides on these next few weeks. And these games are doable, and I feel like these guys can't let us lose. They can't. They won't.
They can't. They won't. I think we've been here so many times. Season is, you know, in the balance right here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only, what, week 4 or 5? 5.
Yeah.
Week 5. It shouldn't be like that. You know, it should become late November, wherever, hey, these are must-win games. It shouldn't be a must-win against Green Bay for us to get.
But it might need to take this.
But you're right. It might need to take this for everybody to come up, step up, and let's go. You know what I mean? You know, defense has got to tighten up a little bit. Our rushing game's got to be there. And I think once those two just start looking good, you'll see a better Garoppolo and just a better, well-rounded team.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for this next game. It's huge. It's a huge one for the Raiders. So, man, Raider fans, cheer hard, root hard for your team because this is very crucial. This stretch right here is very, very crucial.
These next 6 games are huge, you know, and we come out of here pretty good, like you said, with a 5-5 record, 6-4 record. You know, we don't have the bye to fall back on like we did last year, or you know, it seems like we always have kind of early buys. We have one of the later buys this year. You know, you got to protect yourself, be healthy. Coming here ready to go, and if we have a winning record going into that bye and coming out of that bye, all hell breaks loose because we're going to be coming for the playoff spot.
Yeah, hopefully this Raider team can step up, especially in dire need of stepping up right now at this moment.
Yeah.
And you know, this schedule right here, I know it's not the end of the season, but it kind of reminds me of 2 years ago when we made the playoffs. We lost a absolute whooping to the Chiefs. I don't know. I think we lost by 40 plus, maybe even 50 plus to the Chiefs. And then we go on to win 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
3 or 4 games in a row and make the playoffs. It reminds me of this same situation where we feel so down, like it's over. But there's still a lot of football left to be played. A very doable schedule for 6 games. And after that, you got some good tests to see if you're actually good or not.
Exactly.
If we get on a roll. But, yeah, I think we got to stick with them. you never know what can happen. And I like the way those three guys are playing and stepping up for the team. And it seemed like in that Charger game, with those three guys stepping up, it seemed like the whole team kind of rallied around them and stepped up as well. And I expect to see that in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, I expect to see that for just for the rest of the season going forward. Like you said, I like our schedule. I like our quarterback matchups. Just these next 5 or 6 games. If we want it, it's now. I'm not going to say we're going to do it or we're going to go undefeated the rest of the season. But I think anything can happen, and if we're going to get on a roll, it's got to start now.
We'll see you guys for the Raider Talks game preview. Raiders vs. Packers, Monday Night Football. Huge game. We'll see you then. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.